All right, so when I draw this argument structure, I use this dashed line. That's not to mean a conclusion isn't important. It means the conclusion is often implicit. It is there in your mind without me writing it or saying it. And we use this because most of the time when we engage in language, it's for fun or for pleasure. We like to read books or watch movies or scroll through things on the internet. But if you were a lawyer arguing an important case, you would state your conclusion each time because the people there are not there for fun. They're there to make a serious decision. In the same way, if you were teaching someone how to defuse a bomb or how to fly an airplane, you would include this conclusion explicitly to help that person remember because it's important. Nonetheless, I draw this with a dashed line because it's often implicit. Maybe we feel like we don't need to say it and we can continue. This beat in story, the resolution, the meaning, is also often implicit, especially in a broader story. You might just have these 3 beats, like the first 3 paragraphs in To Kill a Mockingbird, where we get some value about some American kids, some problem with, they argue like all kids, and some answer that they have a father who's quite diplomatic and solves their problems or tries to. And the meaning of the story isn't explicit because the meaning for me as an American, and probably for you just as a human being, is that, oh, this is a funny, tough family like mine. I care about them. And so all together, it works to begin the story. The resolution is kind of implicit because the story is continuing. So these two, the conclusion and the resolution, are often implicit. Less often, you might have an implicit thesis, which is something in The Moon and Sixpence, when he asks a question. He says, is to do what you want in a place that you like, feeling good with yourself, to fail in your life? So it's all in one sentence, but he omits the thesis because he wants to ask you a surprising, ironic question as the conclusion. Those things sound good. To do what you want, to live how you like, and feel good with yourself, is that to fail? So in this case, he's omitting this one, but using this one to surprise you, to make you think. And sometimes you might, this first beat or this first beat might be omitted. Again, this is more rare, but if you look at the first paragraph in To Kill a Mockingbird, you might say that it's kind of a story with a problem. A young kid gets his arm broken. We don't like that. That's a problem. We want to know the answer. It healed. Oh, that's good. And it healed in this funny way where it looks weird, but the kid doesn't care. There's no explicit sentence about is it a good kid or a bad kid or whatever, because most of us implicitly value the fact that it's a young kid. We don't want him to be hurt. So it's possible to make this beat implicit, but again, less likely than these. It's almost impossible to make a problem implicit because we kind of need a problem for there to be a story we care about. Almost impossible, but sometimes possible, very rarely, to make the climax, the answer, implicit. If you watch the movie Scott Pilgrim versus the World, we encounter this structure so much where Scott is a good guy and a bad guy wants to take his girlfriend, so Scott fights him and keeps his girlfriend. We encounter it so much in the movie that finally by the last fight, the answer is hidden. And we only get the meaning. For our class, we'll focus on explicitly using each of these beats.